This is Here in My Time, the podcast dedicated to bridging the gap between generations. I'm your host, Lauren Hunt, a local personal journalist, photographer, documentarian, and a lover of people and their stories, located here in Wabash, Indiana. Today's episode is all about Christmas because, believe it or not, it is a week away. And don't look at me, ma'am, sir. I have no clue where this time went. I mean, in my recollections of the past events, it was Thanksgiving. And that's where it starts, and that is where it ends. I mean, I was just sitting on Mama's couch eating a glorious piece of pumpkin pie with extra whipped cream. I fell asleep, and I woke up from my nap, and we're 2 weeks away from Christmas, finding myself in a little bit of a pickle because I still hadn't bought anybody anything for Christmas. Absolutely nothing. But I will say, I'm not waiting a week before Christmas to get everybody's gifts. No, sir, no, ma'am. Guess what? I bought them Friday. So, there you go. I will say that, yes, it's procrastination. I am a little bit of a procrastinator. But you see, Your Honor, I also am very sentimental, and I want to give them a really good gift. I love giving gifts because it makes people so happy. And in return, it makes me happy. So, okay, well, that might have sounded a little selfish, but I really don't mean it that way because it's so fun to watch people just be so happy or get something they weren't expecting, and just it makes me happy in return. Okay, yep, just keep digging myself in that selfish hole. Oh my goodness. That's not what I mean. Although I do say I have this little bit of this fantasy about gift-giving skills. I mean, especially around Christmas time, I keep seeing said person grabbing their gift from the Christmas tree wrapped in beautiful couture wrapping paper with a ribbon and a beautifully handwritten note with a feather pen. And they open it up and instantly tears swell up in their eyes and they begin to weep. And all they can do is say, "Oh, I don't know what I could have done without this beautiful lettuce spinner. I mean, what have I ever been doing with my lettuce before this time? Lauren, you have just changed my life. Oh, you made it so much better. Oh, I don't know what I'm going to do." See, I get very southern, evidently, in this fantasy. I don't know what just happened. But that's what I do believe. My gifts should change people's lives. And is that too much to ask of a lettuce spinner? I don't really... Ooh. You know what? I probably shouldn't have gave away my best gift. I'm just kidding. I didn't get anybody a lettuce spinner. Although that's kind of fun to do for weddings because it's just so cheesy and funny. Although I do think that I did get pretty good gifts this year. Yes, I did wait. But I also do... I think about what people have said throughout the year. I don't know how you guys are, but some people are really easy to buy for in our family, and some people are really hard to buy for. My dad is really easy because he's like me. He likes absolutely anything and everything and collects. My mom is a little bit harder because she likes anything, but also she doesn't want anything. And I just would love to know, how do you get like that? I don't know how you get like that. Because okay, maybe it's a contentment thing here. But, I mean, I guess she does have the best daughter in the world, me, but that's beside the point. But she's a little bit harder to get for, and I have to listen throughout the year because sometimes she'll like drop hints, not really making them hints, just something she says, "Oh, that's beautiful," or "Oh, that's pretty," and I think that's what I'm gonna get her. Sometimes I score really well on Christmas gifts as far as that goes. Like I really pay attention and I know, but I really do try to do that because I want to give them gifts that will help them. One thing that I love to do when it comes to Christmas is when I get their gifts, I want it to either inspire them to continually create what they've been creating in their life or something to help them within their creativity, because most of the people around me are very creative. I also just want to help people be inspired in life. And so for me, when I look at stuff, I want it to enhance, basically. And I think this year I did that. I hope you guys and your gift giving and gift buying skills are far greater than mine and didn't wait 2 weeks before Christmas. Maybe you're just now getting gifts. And listen, I have no hate. There's no hate here. I think you're amazing and you're a superhero for trying to get gifts right now and feeling like you've got everything, because I feel like my head would also be spinning. But Friday we went shopping and I realized, oh my goodness, I just have to decide. And anybody who knows me, decision making is not my strong suit. I mean, it is not my strong suit sometimes, especially when I really want it to be perfect. But everything seemed to fall in place and I found all the good stuff, and I can't wait to see their faces on Christmas Day because it's going to make me so happy. I don't know what you guys do for Christmas, but I thought we could kind of talk about some traditions. And for me, we usually have a Christmas Eve Christmas with my dad's side and a Christmas Day Christmas with my mom's side. And that was just because that's when everybody could meet growing up with other nephews and all that stuff for them. But it's just it was the easiest way for us to get together. But Friday, I got to thinking about what was my favorite Christmas gift and tradition when it comes to this time of year. And I got to thinking about how one time at my dad's side of Christmas, it's on Christmas Eve, and we still to this day have Christmas down in the basement. It's a finished, beautiful basement with kind of Victorian wallpaper and all that fun stuff. And it's one of my favorite memories because we hardly ever would go downstairs except when Grandpa would play music. And, Christmas looks so different now because Grandpa's not here, and on both sides. And I just want to take a second here and speak to those who, Christmas might look different this year for you. And it could be from good things like a marriage or somebody moved away to get a better job or whatever it might be. And it just looks different, or it's harder and it's a little bit more emotional. For those who are feeling like it's going to be a hard and heavy season because there is a missing person at the table and in the lazy boy, I just want to say that, family and getting together is the best thing that you can do. The best thing that you can do is to continue on, because sometimes it's hard because it feels like we're the glue of the family or whatever it might be, but that doesn't mean that the structure has to completely change. And when it comes to getting together, I feel like it's always sometimes awkward when you don't want to almost step on a nerve or something and make it more emotional than it is, or it has to be. But I do think if there's any safe place in this whole world to have emotions in this season is with your family. And sometimes that creates some of the most sweetest memories. Sometimes that brings up beautiful memories for you guys to remember and to talk about and to bring laughter. It's amazing how much joy and laughter can come out of this. And I know it doesn't seem possible right now, but I encourage you to continually get together and to push through and to become stronger. Okay, back on to some happier notes here. We used to do this thing where we still kind of do that, I will say, because we still kind of do this. Growing up, the kids would go upstairs while the Christmas gifts were getting sorted because Santa hadn't come yet. Before then, my uncle would be tracking Santa on his phone. And then they would send us all upstairs after we had ate, and all the kids would find like an air vent because it would always go down to the basement and you can hear what they're saying. We thought that maybe we would find out what we got, or they would slip and say something about somebody else's gifts or whatever it might be. So we would always listen for it. And then we would hear a ho, 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 because my grandpa would always do that. And yes, that sounded really old, and he did not sound like that. That was not a really good impression of him. And that was when we would all come back downstairs. Once all the presents were sorted, we'd find our spots, and we all had certain spots. I don't know if your guys' family is this way, but we always stay at the same spots because those are our spots and that's where our gifts go. So we still do it. We still fight over it. If somebody's in our spot, we go to that spot, or the gifts got flipped around. It's a whole thing. We want our spots. And one day or this one Christmas in particular, Grandma and Grandpa would always do maybe something special for the kids. And we had got all of our presents opened, and they told us to come back upstairs and come out to the garage. We went out to the garage, and there were 2 scooters. And these scooters were not just like any size scooters or any normal scooters. These were insanely cool scooters. They had motorcycle arms, and there was like, it was huge. I don't know how to explain it, but there was a blue and a red one. I am a blue girl. I like having blue is one of my favorite colors growing up, but that's what I always remember. Special gifts for my grandma and grandpa was those scooters. We still have them. They're so cool and they're so fun. I remember the first time we took them out, we went down to Paradise Springs, and coming down the hill on that was so cool. It was so fun. I might have to get those out next year and just go down to Paradise Springs and do that again. But I do remember that they had played this trick on us at one point in time, and they said that we have 4 wheels and a battery for all of you. And we thought the kids all thought, oh, we're going to get a car. Oh, yeah. We were way too young to have a car. But that's not the point. But we were thinking like big stuff, maybe a go-kart or something. That'd be so cool. Turns out it was a grill for Mom and Dad. For both mom and dads. And I love that. We talk about that every year. It's so funny. It's a joke that we continue on. And I just love being together with everybody, because before everybody gets there, usually the kids would be there helping set everything up, and stories would be told while we were waiting on everybody else. And that's one of my favorite things on both sides, is just hearing the stories. So after we would get done at Mammals and Papples, we'd come back home, and Mom had gotten us pajamas for Christmas, and that's what she does every year. And it's just matching pajamas for everybody. We'd open those up, we'd put them on, and we'd go to bed. Now, one of my biggest traditions when it comes to Christmas is after we put the Christmas tree up, I sleep underneath it at least once before Santa comes, okay? I still do this to this day. I love sleeping underneath the Christmas tree. I want to do that again before Christmas, is sleep underneath the Christmas tree. But that's a total side note. But on Christmas Day, then we'd all get up early and we'd open gifts, and Mom would make breakfast, and it was just something special. But then Mama and Papa on my dad's side would come out and see what we gotten. Sometimes they'd get there super early and watch us open gifts, and sometimes they'd come after, and I think that's a very sweet memory. Then later on in the day, after kind of probably taking a nap by that point, we would go out to Mama and Papa on my mom's side. And that is when we'd have more Christmas gifts, more foods, and fun memories. It's just so many fun memories. Mama Phyllis always gets us ornaments for each year, and we have a box. And a year or so ago, she gave us that box of all the ornaments that she had collected for each of us. And so every year we add it to the box, and I think that's so cool that she did that too for us. But I don't know if you guys have any special traditions around Christmas, but sleeping under the Christmas tree, ornaments, and fun kind of games and tricks on people, that's always really fun around Christmas. Fond memories there. But for us, we don't have necessarily special foods for Christmas, but I want to share this little recipe with you. It's called Appalachian Stack Cake, and it's like a gingerbread kind of cake. It's more like a flapjack is what I call it, a flapjack. That's what my mama calls pancakes, is flapjacks. Little side note there. I don't know if anybody else does call that or not, but basically it's gingerbread flapjacks with apple butter in between. And you just stack it and stack it and stack it, and the bread would just soak up all the apple butter, and it's so good. You let it sit overnight, and it just becomes just so moist, and really it's just so yummy. I love it so much. But I got that recipe from a Pioneer cookbook because it used to be something very special back in the day for weddings and for Christmas. So I started picking up that tradition. I feel like I've rambled on enough, so I'm going to kind of add this last little bit and encourage you guys to really spend time and be in the moment with everybody this Christmas. I hope you guys have an amazing Christmas, that it is full of laughter and great memories shared and told. And I hope that you guys get what you want for Christmas. Might not be a lettuce spinner like mine that will change your life, but I do hope it's good, and I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. If you have special traditions that you have in your family, make sure that you let me know over at hereInMyTime.com. You can find my Gmail there as well at hereInMyTime at gmail.com, and you can message me and let me know your favorite memories as well. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. This is Lauren Hunt signing off. Merry Christmas, everybody.